Well, thank you, and welcome. Honestly, I'm going to just kind of step off script for a second. I want to actually thank you for braving the cold. We did our best to make it warm, but we hope by the end of the night that the hearts are much warmer than the air is. I am going to also step off for a second, and I want to take this time because by the end of the night, it's just going to keep rolling, and I want to actually do some thanks. First and foremost, I actually want to thank God. I want to thank God for this building. This is going to be a pretty amazing opportunity for a number of people. The outreach, we want to thank RCCM for helping us do that outreach, as well as Lexington Federal Credit Union, which is actually going to make a lot of what we're talking about tonight possible. We're going to be talking about economic development. Beyond the personal side, I really want to thank my wife. She's put up with just me. And that's not easy, so I really want to thank her. It's not easy at all. I thank my partner, Tim. Thank 33U Productions, Tommy, Clay, Dan. This week has not been easy for them. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm not easy to deal with. And where's Rosemary from X-Ray Events? We really thank you for the help that you've given us. There's many other people that I would like to thank, and I don't want to go through each individual's name. In fact, there is one person in general that I want to say thank you to, which is Lucky Caesar, and we'll just let that lie where it is. That kind of fits in where it belongs. So anyways, well, thank you, and welcome. And I guess some people might want to know why it is you're here and what it is we're doing tonight. Well, tonight we're actually shooting a live, I guess it's not live, but it's a pilot TV show. And it's a promotional TV show that speaks to economic development and personal growth, as well as financial strategies. And before I go too far, I actually want to introduce you to the stick figure on the cards. He's actually our spokesperson. His name is Ulysses D. Constantine. He's got a very special message for us at the end of the night. So with that, I'm going to switch and kind of go from here. So again, what are we doing here? We're shooting a pilot for something we call Udicci.TV, and we're going to talk about that and more in just a minute. Now, if you don't want to be on camera, that's okay. Just let us know, and we'll do our best to no, you're probably going to be on camera at this point, but Clay tells me we can do something otherwise. Throughout the night, what I really want you thinking about is multimedia. What does multimedia mean in today's society? Not only today, but what will multimedia mean in the future? Now, understand that video and what we're doing here may not be your media of choice, but it is the media of choice for tomorrow. And what I'd like you to think about are some of the changes that are going on in media. Be aware of something called the Blaze TV. You may not be aware of the name, but you should be aware of the results. The Blaze TV was a media company that launched a little over a year ago, and they had internet-only distribution. Within 1 year, they had 300,000 paying subscribers. Now, to give you an example of what's similar to that, Headline News by CNN has about 385,000 subscribers. So in 1 year, the Blaze TV nearly matched in paying subscribers what a long-time cable news network had accomplished. Now, after 1 year, they actually were able to come offline, and they now are able to position themselves in front of about 100 million different people. Now, we're not trying to say that we can achieve those same numbers, but with a different approach and with the help of our friends, it is possible we could surpass them. Internet TV is the next big thing. Social multimedia is a natural outgrowth of the Internet TV, and demand for professional video production and distribution is growing exponentially. So with that in mind, let me introduce tonight's show. Tonight, we're going to introduce Udicci. Now, we're going to share a rather big vision and a big goal, and then we're going to talk about a few markets that we serve, the credit unions, charities, and small business. We're going to talk about a goal of helping others improve their financial position and become homeowners and small business owners. We'll chat about marketing and branding, why Udicci.TV, and this home that we call Udicci Studios. Then we're going to introduce to you a segment that we call Stream Stories, where we'll talk about Paradise, Uganda, a very special project that is going to be happening, well, between now and next year. And of course, we're going to talk about Rock 213, which is really what we're all here for tonight. And with that, let's get on with the show.
satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Love 146 works toward the abolition of child sex slavery and exploitation through prevention and aftercare. Love 146 protects children across Asia, the US, and Europe by developing and sustaining targeted prevention projects in high-risk communities. Love 146 defends the rights of the vulnerable through advocacy, prevention, and effective action. Love 146 restores hope to survivors through holistic aftercare and training caregivers. The Love 146 Round Home provides therapy, a sense of family, and a space to thrive. Love 146 empowers survivors through education and viable employment opportunities, equipping them to transition back into communities. Love protects, love defends, love restores, love empowers. We are Love 146.
So, Love 146, I guess I'll just kind of wing it from here, is a national organization that actually exists to help end child sexual slavery. Child sexual slavery is kind of a great evil that is kind of swept under the carpet in our world, and we don't talk about it. We tend to deal with issues that are closer to home. Udicci is actually, I guess, good friends with Love 146, and we have a big goal of helping them accomplish eradicating child sexual slavery. We're going to talk a little bit more about child sexual slavery in just a bit, but let's go ahead and start. Anyways, I'd like to introduce my partner, Tim Maslin.
Hello.
That's enough. And I'm Chuck Levetri. More than a couple of years ago, we began a journey that we call Udicci. Tonight has been many years in the making, and this is really just the beginning. Let me introduce you. Udicci is a for-profit, for-good technology and marketing company. We are capitalists. We believe that capitalism has lifted more people out of poverty than any other socioeconomic system before us. This is an important aspect of our brand because at the core of what we intend to accomplish is a very big goal. Now that goal, we have a goal to raise $2 billion to help end child sexual slavery. And we have a plan to accomplish that goal. Now, a lot of times people hear $2 billion and think it's pie in the sky, but we're actually going to walk you through that plan tonight. See, we believe that poverty is the leading cause of this evil. As such, we're committed to economic development, not only here at home, but around the globe. As I said, Udicci has a goal to raise $2 billion to eradicate child sexual slavery, and we'd like to share with you how we're going to accomplish that.
Credito spes. Commit to hope.
Yes. Okay, Credito spes. That is actually Udicci's tagline. It means committed to hope, and we are committed to hope. Because we believe that hope never disappoints. Hi, Clay. How you doing? We're good? There we go.
Here's the problem. Your face is disappearing behind the mic.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, only for video.
Okay. Take two. Credito spes. This is Udicci's motto. It actually means committed to hope. We are committed to hope because we believe hope never disappoints. We recognize that people face trials and hardships every day. Hope tells us that we can rise above our current situation, and hope tells us to persevere. And we believe that perseverance is a keystone habit of success. Perseverance also builds character, and character brings hope, and hope that can be delivered to other people. Now, Udicci's hope is that we can end child sexual slavery around the globe, but we know that change begins at home. In fact, change begins with me. We need to be the difference that makes the difference.
We got to be the difference.
Okay. Differentiation as perhaps the single biggest aspect of a brand. Udicci is all about building brands. It's actually part of economic development. And we would like to talk to you about one very special brand called Take One. Udicci serves three primary markets: credit unions, charities, and small business. And Take One is designed to bring each of these together as one. Take One will give 1% of all loans acquired by a credit union to a given charity. Now let's walk through this very simple cause marketing campaign. In order to survive financially, credit unions need and want loans. Charities want to increase fundraising and help people. Credit unions will actually help strengthen people financially and give 1% back to the charity who referred the person to the credit union. Now, credit unions were founded by serving a particular group of people. Times have changed, but this doesn't have to. Credit unions want to work with charities. Charities reach far into communities, reaching people that the credit unions never could. But it's not just about loans, it's about strengthening people. Credit unions are simply asking charities, employers, and other community organizations to help us reach into the community and provide financial literacy and economic development. In return for their help in referring somebody, the organization can take one.
I second that emotion.
Most parents have had the talk about drugs, drinking, texting while driving, and other dangerous behaviors.
But if you had the money talk, financial ignorance ruins lives.
Our children face tremendous problems ahead, many of which can be overcome with financial literacy. But it's not just our children. Financial problems are eating away at our society.
Financial difficulties are the leading cause of stress and divorce. But the problem doesn't stay at home. Workplace productivity is significantly reduced due to financial stress. Providing financial education to your employees benefits industry and economy. Financial education reduces liability, expense, and absence while improving productivity and worker satisfaction. And it doesn't stop there. Financial literacy is good for business,
good for families,
good for people,
and good for our community.
So you're going to begin hearing quite a bit more about financial literacy over the next few years. There's actually a national organization called the National Financial Educators Council, and we'll talk about them in just a little bit. And they actually are putting out a public service announcement after the idea of the talk. And Udicci is actually working with them as their marketing arm. They are the providers of this education and have a national reach, and we're going to actually help them kind of reach into the communities in many of the ways that you're seeing tonight. But anyways, let's continue on about credit unions. Now, credit unions are nonprofit organizations, and they offer financial services just like banks. And like banks, who are insured by the FDIC, credit unions are insured by the NCUA. The major difference is that, let's see, what is the major difference? Okay, the major difference is that credit unions are owned by the members. In other words, the people that bank at the credit union own the credit union. So credit union customers are also their owners. As such, the stronger the members are financially, the stronger the credit union is. So by design, credit unions are committed to helping communities that they serve, and strengthening communities strengthens their members, which strengthens the credit unions. So it's all around, it's a win all the way around to provide financial literacy to the communities that they live because the credit unions are strengthened. Now, credit unions, like banks, survive financially on the revenues that they receive from deposits and loans. As nonprofit organizations, credit unions can typically offer lower interest rates on loans and higher interest rates on deposits. Yes, credit unions have the opportunity to make a significant impact in the economic development of our communities and the lives of the people that they serve. But they need your help. Unlike banks, most credit unions do not have tremendous marketing budgets, and they still need to reach people to grow. And that is where you come in. Lexington Avenue Federal Credit Union is committed to serving our community and will be offering free financial literacy courses through charities, employers, and other community organizations. In fact, Lexington has one simple goal for the people that they serve. We want to help them become owners. Lexington Avenue Federal Credit Union wants to help people grow financially through a four-step process. We help people move from transactor to saver, from saver to borrower, from borrower to owner. So what does this mean? A transactor is somebody who typically goes into a bank or a credit union and on payday, and they cash their check, and they hope that they have enough money to make it through the end of the week. All too often they don't, and they end up as kind of, we'll call it victims of the payday loans. We want to actually help those people. The transactor neither benefits themselves nor the credit union. A saver is a person who commits to putting away a certain amount of money each pay period and works toward a specific goal. What we are doing with this person is helping them create better financial habits. We want to help them become a saver. After a person has learned these better habits, we can help them become a borrower. Perhaps they need to buy a car, or they need to refinance other debt that has stressed them for years. Again, as a financially literate borrower, we have helped this person develop strong financial habits. And it is from borrower that we look to owner. And what does owner look like to you? Oftentimes we think about first-time home owner, but what about business owner? Whatever it is, all along the path, we have worked with this person to create good financial habits. They have learned and experienced the value of these new habits in their life and how they can truly begin to experience the hope that first set them on this path. Please know that it is not a new idea. This process has been implemented successfully in other cities across the country. Our partners in this effort are a national organization known as NFEC, we talked about, the National Financial Educators Council. This organization supports us by providing the financial literacy classes that begin in kindergarten and extend all the way into retirement. So, what are we asking for? We want to talk to as many people as we can about the opportunity to become an owner. But we know that your voice doesn't come for free, so we are showing our commitment to this plan with Take One. Take One gives 1% of debt that is acquired by a credit union during this process to a given charity. If a person buys a car, 1% of that loan goes to a charity. If a debt is refinanced, 1% of that debt goes to a charity. Hey, if other financial institutions can give 1% cash back, why can't a nonprofit credit union give 1% back to those who helped us? Help us, help others, help the community. It's really that simple. Take One with Lexington Avenue Federal Credit Union.
So, Chuck, when I think of owner, I don't think of just home ownership. I think of small business ownership, too.
Thank you. I'm glad that slide was there for you. Yeah. Okay. Yes, let's talk about economic development and small business services. Consider our neighbor just across the way, Out of the Darkness. Yes, they are a ministry, but they actually are participating in economic development by helping other people learn skills that will help them get gainful employment. But maybe you're more like our friend Lucky Caesar, who's looking to create a new brand. Creating a business and a strategic marketing plan is not something most people have done, but it is also where credit unions and Udicci can help. We will help people not only create a business plan, but understand the importance of a brand, the value of understanding a market, and how you serve and penetrate into a market. Yeah, an idea is nice, but an actionable strategy leads to results. And Udicci, along with Lexington Federal Credit Union, wants to help small businesses achieve their dreams. Not by simply telling them yes or no that we can give them a loan or sorry that we can't. We can help. Economic development is about using the resources you have and using them wisely. It's one of the reasons that we're in this church tonight. That's one of the reasons that all of us are sitting here cold. We want to actually show what is possible when the community comes together and makes a difference. So I guess it would be easiest to say that with Udicci Small Business Services, we help you get from idea to plan, from plan to market, and from market to sales.
Okay, so we got to go back to the $2 billion because nobody understands that yet. So let's talk about the $2 billion.
All right. Well, we talked about what we can do locally with Take One. So let's talk about the 1% of the loans that the credit unions and give it to charity.
Yeah, you said that, but let's keep going.
All right. Imagine that on a national scale, that last year alone, credit unions funded over $250 billion in new car loans. 1% of that is $2.5 billion.
Sure. So, but we can't possibly get every loan.
Agreed. But that was just new car loans. $250 billion in new car loans, $400 billion in used car loans, and $900 billion in first mortgages. Just those three alone exceed $1.5 trillion. 1% of that is $15 billion. Now, do you realize if we could just capture 10% of that market, that we could achieve $1.5 billion in 1 year? Now, I recognize that 10% is pretty aggressive, but we never said that we only had to do it in 1 year. We could actually, what if we only capture 3% of that market?
Well, it'd only be $450 million a year.
Right, exactly. $450 million over 5 years is?
Okay, we're over $2 billion now.
There you go. Yes, it's over $2 billion when you look at it that way. And you should know that the credit union market is a wide open market. It's relatively, there's actually nobody right now trying to pull together the entire market on a national basis. And what we're doing is that we're pulling nonprofit organizations together, and this is something that we believe could actually happen.
All right, so how do we get the word out?
Okay. Well, I think we should tell people about Take One, what it can do for the community. We should get help from our friends in the community. Then we could hook up with our national friends like the National Financial Educators Council and Love 146.
Okay, makes sense to me, but there's still promotion.
Great question. So what do you say we meet people where they are? Let's meet them online. Let's deliver this message following the way any good modern marketing company would. Let's start an online TV network that focuses on economic development. Let's highlight people who are doing good. Let's help others get their word out, and in doing so, we'll get our word out.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean like what we're doing here, Udicci.TV? Yes,
just like Udicci.TV. And let's do it here in Udicci.TV studios.
I'm excited about Udicci Studios. I really am. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because, first off, we're a marketing company. And, you know, how do you do marketing these days if you don't have competent videographers and actual musicians and people to bring together art into a message? Great marketing requires storytelling.
I just really, truly enjoy what I'm doing. I'm the solution for this is exactly what we want. Put it on film. Brilliant. That's where I step up. It's such a team sport, and I feel so I really do honestly give a damn about the people that I work with.
Eventually I want to be working out of something that isn't just me running it. So to be a part of something bigger than just me would be actually pretty rad. To have multiple people even working with the audio and you know, or even me be able to do something different instead of the same thing over and over again. You know?
We go through the stuff that we're doing right now, and then we've got team building skills. We tie that into habits, and we've got personal development, and we've got brand building.
But no, when you said, can I jump to marketing and music? Yeah, because that word used to be kind of a bad word to me, because I would always, I don't know if it's just the dysfunctional nature of man that defines words as good or bad when you're younger, but I always gravitated towards like a vanity type, you know, marketing is like, I'm marketing me, and then I feel self-conscious because I don't want to seem like I'm directing it towards myself or whatever, but I'm starting to redefine things in a good sense. Like if I can realize that marketing can be, you know, providing for my family or promoting a project that's helping these kids in Uganda that I know and love, like it can be a very positive thing. So, and it's just, you can get creative with it. It can be fun. Like, hey, let's get, you know, people's attention. So I'm trying to break out of the just doing rock and roll sessions. Like now we do concerts and tea parties and just to get a different group of people or a different people to see it in a different light. You know, when people walk in here in the concerts, it's just this cool vibe of people with good synergy and good food, and you know, I can just sit back and kind of soak it in. I try to, but I get a little stressed. The Save the Clock Tower concert series.
And we've created something pretty fantastic at this point. We've got a great team. We have a great vision. We have a significant differentiation in about 7 different markets.
All right, so welcome to the future home of Udicci Studios. What you really just saw us talk about up there is that how things are going to be different in the future. I mean, who would have thought just a few years ago that, you know, Facebook was the only place that any of us would ever talk? Well, multimedia and social and internet, it's all coming together, and this is what we're going to have, is we're going to have a social studio where businesses can come together, share ideas, where community members get together on a regular basis and share things like, you know, a passion for music or anything else. And this is Udicci Experience. or at Udicci Studios. So what you just experienced was an example of how maybe a business plan will be delivered in the future. No longer is a printed plan actually adequate. You actually have to demonstrate that you understand your market. Now here's the deal. I know that I need to speak in Gen X and Gen Y. And where are they? Well, they're online. So why is it we're doing an online TV show? Because the people we want to talk to are watching. And tomorrow's market's going to rely on video online. I won't bore you with all the statistics or even how YouTube, owned by Google, is trying to encourage better quality video. They know that quality video production is a necessity of the future brands. And Udicci is a marketing company that understands future markets and how to deliver to that market. And we have the capabilities to do so today, immediately. So this old church will once again have new life. And once again, this will be an outreach to our community and beyond. Let me talk to you for just a minute about MAF Studios and some of the other things that might be going on inside of Udicci Studios. MAF is Music, Arts, and Freedoms, and we have a gentleman that, Ricardo, tag. It's been a passion of his to actually use music to reach out to the kids in the community and give them a place that they can go after school or at some point and kind of escape from the streets, if you will, and find an outlet, an expression, a way of getting out what they're feeling inside and interacting with people who understand. Well, that's what Udicci Studios is going to be. We're going to look to have MAF Studios right inside of here. We're also going to have things around this building someday. You're going to actually see multiple sets, multiple TV sets. One of the first shows that we're going to begin recording is called Meta Tags. Meta Tags is really, it's just two average guys, and that's how we look at ourselves. It's myself and Eric Nixon who's here, and we're going to be exploring social issues to really try to understand what's at the core of these issues. For instance, the economy. We all sit here and we just went through an election, and how many of us really understand the economy, what's driving it? If I sit up here and talk about Keynesian economics, does anybody understand what drives Keynesian economics? And how it is that when we have quantitative easing and where is it applied to an asset, and now I have to look to Chuck and say, Chuck, can you explain this for me? Because I can't. And if I can't explain it, how am I explaining it to my children, the future voters? How are we going to do something that's different? So we're going to actually go about reaching out to experts and asking them, explain it so that I can understand it, explain it so that I can explain it to my children, and we'll put that online where people can watch it and that they can learn. And then there's going to be the show called Stream Stories, hosted by Jesse Sprinkle. And now, on the only set that we have, we'd like to actually experience the episode, if you will, the pilot episode of Stream Stories, and we're going to talk a little bit about Paradise, Uganda. But before Jesse steps up here, I'm going to step out again. I mentioned that Stickman had a little bit of a special announcement tonight. Ulysses had a special announcement. And, Jesse, if you want to make your way up here, I'm going to invite my daughter up here because she asked if she could actually make this announcement tonight. So, all right, come on up.
So for the second year in a row, Udicci has been selected in the finalists for Forbes magazine finalists for most trusted business. Yeah.
Right, so for the second year in a row, Udicci has actually been selected as finalists in Forbes' most promising
America's most
business.
promising company, Forbes magazine. They run it every single year.
Yeah, and I just found that out this afternoon and just decided to share that with him tonight. So now we can have some fun. All right, so actually, why don't we just simply start out by explaining, we've talked about Stream Stories a little bit. What Stream Stories is going to be is a Udicci.TV show where we explore music, but not only music just for music's sake, how it's impacting culture, and we're going to focus on people who are using music to touch others and to do good. I wish Kurt was here tonight because now I have to keep using his word. It's ethnomusicology.
Ethnomusicology.
Yeah. It's one of those great words that once you learn it, you can never stop saying it. But it's it's really a study of music, if you will, and its effect on culture and what it does. And Stream Stories isn't necessarily only in that direction, but we're going to look at bands and people around the world, if you will, that are using music to touch lives. And that's actually, we're going to begin with Jesse's first project called Paradise, Uganda.
Absolutely.
So why don't we just turn it over to you to talk about Paradise, Uganda?
What do you want to hear? You guys, he mentioned that I play music, and I think it's true. I don't know. I've been in the music industry for a good 20 years, and I spent a lot of years just kind of flailing around trying to figure out my purpose, you know, and it's not about marketing in the sense of proving that you're cool and that your tattoos are better than other people's, but they are. But finally, a few years ago, I met people in a wonderful country called Uganda, and it was one of those things that just kind of clicked, you know. I know we want to do music for a good reason, and I know music is a language. It's a common meeting ground. So when I'm on the grounds of Uganda, that's with the youth. That's one of the main things that, you know, we speak music. So it's as simple as music is in my heart. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I want to be responsible with that gift and with the connections and do what I feel like I need to be doing. So
I was going to say, the other day you expressed to me how you go down to Uganda and these kids just begin to sing, and the joy that comes out of them you find almost inexpressible when you consider the situation that they're in.
Yeah, it's almost embarrassing, actually, you know, everything we have in this country, the luxury of shelter, food, and all the things we don't even need that we have, but their life just exudes this joy and this encouraging sort of nature that, you know, I bring home with me, and I hope that it changes my life, but it's complicated. But
now, I know that the project, you're actually doing this project with Kurt Johnson, another gentleman from Rochester, part of the Moho Collective, studies over at Eastman, I believe, right?
He teaches a bunch of different places. But
teaches all this, yeah. Okay. And realistically, so the project as a whole, if we look at it, you guys are going to be laying down tracks here, creating the music here?
Yeah, mostly writing the music here, but also getting ideas from them from a distance, and then creating an album that can basically highlight their voices and their stories and their lives. So, I mean, as long as we can give honor to that, you know.
Cool. So, anyway, so Jesse's going to be kicking off Paradise Uganda here very shortly, and we encourage all of you to kind of watch on Facebook what's going on. We're actually going to begin a Kickstarter project very soon, and, well, I don't know, we'll kind of let you decide how much you can share, who's going to be involved with that project, or, you know, any names that they may recognize, or should we just keep that quiet for now?
We'll be launching that. It's going to be great. Promise me. Promise me. Yes, I will promise you. But we're going to be raising $20,000 is our goal for the covering the costs of traveling back and forth and recording and all that, printing CDs and all that kind of stuff. So.
And if you're not familiar with Kickstarter or whatnot, and again, it's this whole idea of really this new online media, new online marketing that if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, it's a whole new venue which is advancing the arts and advancing humanitarian efforts, if you will, around the world. So I definitely would encourage you to kind of...
Black Friday. Morning of Black Friday is when we launch our campaign, so we want people to be doing something a little different this year. Don't stomp on someone at Walmart. Go online and help some kids in Uganda.
All righty. Well, I guess. All right. So, all right. Well, I guess then we're good. We'll kind of go from here. And Jesse's going to kind of play his way out, and I don't know what else. Oh, so on the table you'll see our stick man, and you'll see that you've been, for those of you who've been following us on Facebook, you're going to hear about Rock 213, and we keep talking about making commitments, personal commitments to grow in 2013, personal commitments to help others in 2013, and that's really what we're trying to do. Not only when it comes to the financial literacy or the economic development, we actually want to help people improve their habits. We want to help people become accountable to one another. So if there's actually something you want to achieve in 2013, if you want to kind of, you know, get your first book published, if you want to follow a dream that you've had for 17 years and get the groundwork laid for that, if you actually want to start your own business but have never known how, whatever it is, we want to help you. We have a team of people here who their whole goal is to help other people in whatever it is that you want to do. And if you're looking for it, if you're willing to make a commitment to grow yourself and to help others in the community, we'd really like to be in contact with you. Now, those cards, we purposely hand wrote them because we want people to know that you can do anything with the resources that you have, and it's very simple. So if you're willing to kind of commit to making a change and being the difference that makes the difference next year, we'd appreciate if you just kind of take some time or take the card with you, think about what it is you want to do in 2013, and join us in getting this word out, for the worthy goals that we're trying to accomplish, not only here in our backyard, but around the globe. And with that, I really do thank you for coming out with this first-time experience that we've been working on for many years. It's certainly been interesting for me, to say the least, and I greatly appreciate you putting up with the cold. And well, we're going to go ahead and let Jesse get up here and play some music, and you guys can kind of mingle around, ask us any questions, and start to find some heat, I guess, in your cars.
Thank you, America. Let's
good to be in your country. Speaking of your country, this is a song that the kids in the slums of Kampala, Uganda taught me, so I love this song. I think of them when I sing it. So figure out the words and sing along with me.
Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Yakwatikastan, Nekenya-nya-nya-nya, Nekayuya-yuya, Nakasamba, Nekagware. Yakwatikastan, Nekenya-nya-nya-nya, Nekayuya-yuya, Nakasamba, Nekagware. You guys got that? Thank you. Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Yakwatikastan, Nekenya-nya-nya-nya, Nekayuya-yuya, Nakasamba, Nekagware. Yakwatikastan, Nekenya-nya-nya-nya, Nekayuya-yuya, Nakasamba, Nekagware. Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Yes. Salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa. Salam-wa, salam-wa, kudonde-wa, bet salam-wa.